Welcome to Gotta Ping. I'm Mei Ping, the founder of Gotta Ping. As a next-gen leadership coach, I help high-performing young executives and entrepreneurs like you to navigate complex people and problems with top-notch communication and leadership skills to create sustained success. In today's podcast, I want to talk about why you need to make your own decisions and what is holding you back. Making decisions is the hallmark of a leader. It shows that you are confident enough to take the next step forward. And taking the next right step forward is all that matters. Progress is still progress. The worst thing is procrastinating and then waiting for something to happen. Like I always say, hope is not a strategy. This is something that I tell every single one of my coaching clients. It's so important to remember. And if this is the first time that you are hearing about my personal motto, I want you to take a pause and let that really sink in. And after that, you can put in a visual reminder, probably somewhere you can see every day. It will bring you immense value, I promise. So making decisions, and specifically why some people are afraid to make a decision. It's all down to the fear of making a wrong decision. People don't like to be wrong. And especially in the education system today, in this part of the world, if you don't already know, I live in Asia, where paper qualifications, good grades, good marks, being obedient, these are highly valued prizes in the society. So there's always a right answer in order to get that A in school or in university. So this subconscious perception that there's always a right answer for everything is ultimately what is holding you back. In life, it's not so simple. In a complex, dynamic workplace, things are not so clear-cut. You may not always have the right answer, the perfect answer. In most cases, it doesn't exist. So it's really important to recognize that. So back to what I said, people are afraid of making the wrong call, and it cripples them because then they end up dwelling over it. That's one. Number two, they constantly reach out to peers, managers, or friends to seek advice. So it's good to get other people's opinions, perspective, and feedbacks. I think those are excellent approaches. But if that's what you find yourself constantly doing, that's something that you need to recognize, is that you are actually afraid to make a call. Hence, you are constantly seeking opinions when you already know what your decision is. It's just that you're afraid. And you're seeking validation from other people to tell you that, okay, go ahead, it's the right thing to do. You know, no matter what other people tell you, if deep down you really have somewhat of an answer, whatever they say, it will not kind of seep in. So you end up jumping from one person to the other, constantly seeking advice and also justifying your position until you get an agreement. This is not how you get along with people. So if you haven't heard any of my earlier podcasts, there's one episode where I talked about getting along with others. So check that one out also. So back to what I'm saying. Constantly bombarding people with your questions because you're hoping for this answer that you have in your head. You just want them to, see your point of view and give you that assurance and validation. It doesn't work like that. And even if they tell you, yes, go ahead, if deep down you know that that's not what you want, then you're still going to say, well, I don't know, I'll think about it, blah, blah, blah. So this whole thinking about it is just sitting about it, procrastinating about taking action. So this is a skill. It's maybe not so much of a skill, but it's that courage to take a call. It's all about accountability and taking ownership, taking responsibility. And apparently now, that's something that people are very uncomfortable with. So I can give you a couple of examples in the corporate world, in business, and even in your personal life. So we'll start with the corporate world. So if you've ever been in team projects or some sort of deliverable that requires support from different people, you will notice that it is not often that a lot of people will put their hands up and say, okay, I will take charge and let me do this and I will own this piece and that piece. It doesn't happen very often. In fact, what you will commonly see is people saying, well, my scope is only this, I can't help you with that, I'm very busy, I don't know, I only know this, the other stuff you just have to figure it out yourself. That's why too many cooks truly spoil the soup. And even beyond that, too many cooks makes the kitchen come to a halt. That's what I truly believe in. And I completely get some corporate cultures that really value seeking opinions, getting collaboration, and getting, a collective decision. But ultimately, someone has to make a call. There's no point getting 5, 10, 100 people in the room constantly seeking feedback because we don't want to piss the other person off or we don't want to piss another department off. But ultimately, that's why the projects don't move. And if you are in any of those, if you've ever encountered any of those situations, I'm sure you completely resonate with what I'm saying right now. And let me know if this is true. In business, it's also something that's quite interesting. Because right now I'm in the coaching world, and it's a transition from me from obviously my very senior level positions in corporate last year. So I'm right now in this coaching world, and obviously coaching is a business aside from the part where we really help people change their lives. What I've seen a lot, and I continue to see, are people who are learning. So they're seeking knowledge, which is great, but knowledge without action is useless. They're seeking knowledge, and they are constantly having chit chats with other people, people in the service line, asking them, what do you think I should do? This and that. Like I said, it's good to seek perspectives, right? It's good to learn what other people are doing and get their opinions on what your situation is, and that's great. The thing is that ultimately it's down to you. You have to take the action, right? And on the flip side, something that I tell all my coaching clients as well. I can give you the guidance. I can help you get clarity in your thought, and I can give you perspectives and insights as to why something is happening when it's happening to you, right? But ultimately, you need to take that action. I'm not with you 24/7. I don't know what's going on, right? It's about taking ownership, making a decision and committing to a decision and say what? You know what? I'm going to move forward and I'm just going to decide to do this. And whether it works out or not, then we'll talk about it later, right? And then we'll review it, and then I'll get some feedback, and then we'll work on like the next best step. But until you decide to take that step forward, nothing happens. Like actually nothing happens. So now I'll give you a final example on how this can translate in your personal life. So ultimately, this all comes down to procrastination, right? And one thing that you I guess you might hear quite a bit of is people maybe putting off cleaning their house, or tidying up their room, clearing their garage. It's all ultimately procrastination, because it's something that's scary, it's overwhelming, it's quite a bit, and you feel, you know what, it's fine, just put it off to the next day, I don't want to deal with it right now. So when you say that you don't want to deal with something, that's when you have mentally shut down. So there's nothing else that anybody else can say for you to absorb and say, you're just going to do it. And sometimes like tidying your room is something as simple as that. And even people who tell me that they want to start their decluttering process so that they can have a more organized life. And I also work with clients like that. And it's really about making that decision to say, I will spend 20 minutes today just to like clean up this section of my room. Really only starts with that. But it's taking that decision, whether the impact is a big or small one, that remains to be seen, right? The first thing is you actually have to decide that you're going to do something and choose a direction that you can head to. So everything is moving so quickly nowadays that if you're not moving forward, you are actually moving backwards, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. But 1 year, 3 years, 5 years down the road, that's when you will have this massive wake-up call and say, oh my God, what just happened, right? How did people move ahead of me so quickly, and how did things move so quickly that I wasn't even aware of? So I'm telling you right now, get aware and make a decision, commit to it, and move forward. Thank you for joining me today. If we have not yet connected, I look forward to connecting with you. You can find me on my website, www.gottaping.com, on LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. The links to my profiles are in this episode's description box. I can't wait for you to join me in the next episode of my Gotta Ping podcast. Till next time, bye!